Welcome to my channel briefing on Bravo. Alexia Umansky just gave a brand new look inside of her family's Aspen, Colorado vacation house, and it could not look any more cozy. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Kyle Richards and her estranged husband, Mauricio Umansky, have owned their cozy Colorado home since 2022, and they get a lot of use out of it. Alexia is the latest of the Umansky children to take over the house after they spent Christmas as a family of 6 there in 2024. More on that later. The newly engaged real estate agent took to her Instagram story over the weekend, where she showed off just how gorgeous the scenery from the house can look. Alexia captured one of the house's bedrooms in the photo posted to her story, bathed in a warm glow from the sun. In the photo, the room can be seen outfitted with a super luxurious-looking bed and nightstand, as well as a small sitting area with a loveseat and coffee table. This bedroom also has access to a small sitting area outside through a sliding glass door, which is perfect for looking at all of the freshly fallen snow. What's better than waking up to see how much snow has fallen overnight, right? Alexia then took to her Instagram story on Sunday, where she posted a video of her skiing on the slopes of Aspen. Clearly, she is getting some very good use out of the house and the outdoors that surround it. Inside Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky's 2024 Christmas celebration in Aspen. Alexia and her siblings had previously gathered at the house earlier to celebrate Christmas. When Kyle first arrived in Aspen, from her home base in Encino, she shared a look at the house's rustic living room, complete with an antler chandelier, dark brown sectional, and fully decorated Christmas tree. Peaceful night in wrapping gifts and watching the snowfall, she captioned the photos. Kyle also took to her Instagram story on Christmas Day, where she posted photos of her daughters curled up in front of the fireplace in their Christmas pajamas, right after they opened their gifts. It truly looks like the coziest place to spend the holidays. Details on Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky's Aspen vacation house. After Kyle and Mauricio sold their previous Aspen house, which they purchased in 2019, in June 2022, they officially moved over into the new vacation house in August 2022. Although the original Aspen home, as seen on RHOB Season 12, Episode 16 was so special to Kyle, there is a reason for the switch. She took to her Instagram story in June 2022, where she explained why they sought out the new property and purchased it. "Our family is growing, and we simply need more space," she said at the time. In the years since then, Kyle has shown off their absolutely stunning view from their living room, the dining area, and all of the super gorgeous gathering areas. Here's to spending more time in their Colorado oasis in 2025. A winter's tale in Aspen. The snow had begun to fall gently over the jagged peaks of Aspen as the Umansky family gathered at their rustic vacation home nestled among the evergreens. The house, a sanctuary of warmth and charm, had become a beloved destination for the family, a place where they could escape the bustle of Los Angeles and find solace in the simplicity of nature. The warm glow of the lights inside reflected on the snow-covered ground, creating a postcard-perfect scene. Alexia Umansky, now a newly engaged real estate agent, stood by the large bay window in the living room, her mug of hot cocoa warming her hands. Her gaze swept across the snow-laden landscape, where the first rays of morning sunlight sparkled like diamonds. She loved this house. It was more than a retreat. It was a repository of memories, laughter, and shared moments that bound her family together. "Morning, sweetheart," Kyle Richards called out as she entered the room. Wrapped in a soft cashmere robe, Kyle looked every bit the part of a winter queen. Her dark hair framed her face as she carried a tray of freshly baked cinnamon rolls. "Good morning, Mom," Alexia said, her voice filled with affection. "Did you sleep well?" Kyle nodded, setting the tray down on the large wooden coffee table. "Better than I have in weeks. There's something about this house. It's like it wraps you in a hug." Alexia smiled. "It's magical, isn't it?" The family had arrived just 2 days earlier to celebrate the Christmas holidays. Despite the challenges of the past year, including Kyle's estranged relationship with Mauricio, the family was determined to make this a season of togetherness. Even in the face of change, they knew that Aspen had a way of bringing them back to what mattered most, each other. A family gathering. By mid-morning, the house was alive with activity. Mauricio, dressed in a plaid flannel shirt, was in the kitchen flipping pancakes, while Alexia's younger sisters, Sophia and Portia, were busy decorating gingerbread cookies at the dining table. The warm scent of pine from the Christmas tree mixed with the aroma of fresh coffee and syrup, creating an atmosphere that felt like pure bliss. "Who's ready to hit the slopes?" Mauricio called out as he placed a stack of pancakes on the counter. "I am," Portia chirped, her eyes lighting up with excitement. At 14, she had developed a newfound love for skiing and couldn't wait to get back on the slopes. Alexia laughed. "Don't forget to bundle up. It's freezing out there." Sophia, the more introspective of the sisters, glanced out the window, where the snow was still falling lightly. "Maybe I'll stay back today. I want to read by the fire." Kyle joined them at the table, holding a steaming cup of tea. "That sounds like a perfect plan, Sophia. Everyone can enjoy the house in their own way." A day on the slopes. By noon, Alexia and Mauricio were on the mountain, carving graceful lines into the fresh powder. The crisp air and stunning views reminded Alexia why she had fallen in love with skiing as a child. She felt a sense of freedom on the slopes, a release from the pressures of work and the complexities of adulthood. At one point, they paused at the edge of a run to take in the view. Below them, Aspen's charming village looked like something out of a snow globe. "Dad," Alexia said, turning to Mauricio, "do you think we'll ever outgrow this place?" He smiled, his face crinkling with warmth. "No, my amor. This house, this mountain, it's part of who we are now. It's where we come together." Alexia nodded, feeling a surge of gratitude. Despite everything, she knew her parents had built something enduring, a family that could weather any storm. An evening of reflection. Back at the house, the family gathered in the living room as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of pink and orange. The fireplace crackled with warmth, casting dancing shadows on the walls. Kyle sat on the couch, a blanket draped over her legs, while Sophia and Portia played a game of chess on the coffee table. Alexia, her fiancé, and Mauricio were in the kitchen, preparing a hearty dinner of roast chicken and vegetables. As they ate, the conversation flowed easily, punctuated by laughter and shared memories. It was during dessert, Kyle's homemade apple pie, that Alexia raised her glass. "I just want to say how grateful I am for all of you," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "This house isn't just a place, it's a feeling. And no matter what happens, I know we'll always have this." Her words hung in the air, and for a moment, there was silence. Then Mauricio raised his glass. "To family," he said simply. "To family," they all echoed. The power of tradition. The following morning, Kyle woke early and found herself alone in the living room. She lit the Christmas tree, its multicolored lights twinkling against the darkened room. Sitting on the couch, she reflected on the years that had brought them to this moment. Life had changed so much since she and Mauricio first bought their original Aspen house in 2019. At the time, it had seemed like a dream, a place for their daughters to grow and thrive. But as their family expanded and their needs evolved, they had made the decision to move into the larger home. Now, as Kyle sat surrounded by the remnants of Christmas, a half-eaten plate of cookies, a pile of wrapping paper, she realized how much this house had come to mean to all of them. It was more than bricks and mortar. It was a sanctuary, a reminder that no matter where life took them, they would always have each other. A bright future. As the days passed, the family settled into a rhythm of skiing, relaxing, and spending time together. Alexia couldn't help but feel a sense of renewal. Her engagement marked the beginning of a new chapter, one she was eager to share with her family. On their final evening in Aspen, the family gathered outside by the fire pit, wrapped in blankets and sipping hot cocoa. Above them, the stars glittered against the inky sky. "Let's make a promise," Kyle said, her voice steady. "No matter what happens, we'll always come back here. This will always be our place." The family nodded in agreement, their faces illuminated by the firelight. In that moment, the world felt right. The challenges of the past year seemed to melt away, replaced by the warmth of love and connection. As Alexia looked around at her family, she felt a deep sense of peace. This house, with its cozy rooms and stunning views, was more than a vacation spot. It was home. And in the quiet of the Colorado night, she knew that they would carry its magic with them wherever they went. Come back to Briefing on Bravo and see more news.